applauded is the president who did the most selfless thing that anybody's done since George Washington. And that's really the truth. And all the rest of it will be long gone and forgotten. And so I'm just very proud.
George Clooney, one of Hollywood's most beloved stars, just suffered the biggest public humiliation of his career live on air. It all went down on Real Time with Bill Maher. What started as a simple political ad turned into a full-blown PR disaster. But when Clooney tried to fix it, Maher humiliated him on national TV. Why did Maher refuse to help Clooney? Is Hollywood finally turning its back on one of its biggest names? Let's break it all down. In the lead-up to the 2024 presidential election, George Clooney lent his voice to a political advertisement supporting Kamala Harris, produced by the progressive group Vote Common Good.
Right now, and it's exciting to see all these young people really engaged in sort of the national discourse.
The 30-second spot showed a group of men entering a polling station, with one stating, "Come on, boys, let's make America great again." As the narrative unfolds, Clooney's voiceover urges voters to consider how their choices impact their loved ones, emphasizing, "Remember, you can vote any way you want, and no one will ever know." The ad concludes with the line, "What happens in the booth stays in the booth. Vote Harris Walls."
Come on, boys, let's make America great again. It's your turn, buddy.
Before you cast your vote in this election, think about how it'll impact the people you care about the most.
With the aim to resonate with male voters, the ad instead resulted in a backlash. Critics labeled it as tone deaf, arguing that it encouraged cheating among voters and underplayed the act of voting. The portrayal of men secretly voting against their declared intentions was seen by some as undermining the integrity of the electoral process. This controversy was further hyped up by Clooney's prior political engagements, including a July 2024 op-ed in the New York Times, where he urged President Joe Biden to step aside. The juxtaposition of Clooney's call for Biden to withdraw and his subsequent support for Harris led to accusations of inconsistency and opportunism. Observers questioned the sincerity of his political commitments, suggesting that his actions were more about maintaining relevance than genuine advocacy.
The person who should be applauded is the president who did the most selfless thing that anybody's done since George Washington. And that's true.
The ad, rather than supporting Harris's campaign, became a focal point for criticism, with some arguing that celebrity endorsements can be counterproductive, potentially alienating voters who feel disconnected from Hollywood elites. In an effort to reduce the fallout from the controversial ad and his earlier political statements, Clooney embarked on a media tour aimed at clarifying his positions and restoring his public image. However, this initiative faced significant challenges. Notably, when Clooney's team proposed an appearance on Real Time with Bill Maher, they anticipated a platform to articulate his views. Contrary to expectations, Maher declined the proposal, expressing reluctance to have his show serve as a venue for celebrity image rehabilitation.
Well, I'm just going to remember, since we have a movie star here, that it was a movie star, George Clooney, who really affected this election. I mean, Biden might still be in there if George Clooney, you know, talk about celebrities and how important they are. I don't think they're important in getting the voters to do something, but they sure were important.
This rejection was a massive setback for Clooney, as Maher's program is known for its influential discussions on politics and culture. The denial not only limited Clooney's opportunities to address the controversy, but also signaled a broader hesitancy within media circles to associate with his recent political endeavors. Subsequent attempts to secure appearances on other high-profile platforms, such as The Howard Stern Show, were met with similar reluctance, further constraining his efforts to manage the narrative. The media's restraint to engage with Clooney during this period underscored a growing skepticism towards celebrity involvement in politics. Analysts noted that while celebrity endorsements can amplify campaign messages, they also risk backfiring if perceived as out of touch or self-serving. Clooney's experience became a case study in the complexities of political advocacy by public figures, illustrating the fine line between leveraging fame for influence and overstepping into areas where credibility may be questioned. As the media tour progressed, it became evident that Clooney's efforts were not yielding the intended results. Instead of quelling the controversy, his appearances often reignited discussions about the appropriateness of celebrity political involvement and the potential disconnect between Hollywood and the general populace.
Initially, I get one of my favorite things is to get those things that go around your license plate or a bumper sticker, because you never go to the back of your car and look.
The tour, rather than serving as damage control, inadvertently amplified the scrutiny on Clooney's political activities, leading to a reassessment of his role as a public advocate. In an effort to repair his public image after the backlash from his political ad, George Clooney's team proposed an appearance on Real Time with Bill Maher. They believed this platform would allow Clooney to address criticisms directly and regain public favor. However, Bill Maher, known for his candid approach, declined the proposal. He emphasized that his show was not a venue for celebrities to manage personal controversies. Maher stated that he was unwilling to let his platform become a tool for celebrity image rehabilitation. Undisturbed by the initial refusal, Clooney's team intensified their efforts. They proposed a more dynamic segment featuring an unscripted, candid interview aiming to showcase Clooney's sincerity and willingness to address criticisms head-on. Despite these efforts, Maher remained firm in his decision, declining the proposal once more. This series of rejections not only hindered Clooney's immediate plans for image rehabilitation, but also subjected him to public embarrassment, as the refusals became a topic of discussion within media circles. The repeated denials underscored the challenges celebrities face when attempting to navigate public controversies, particularly when traditional avenues for narrative control are inaccessible. This situation highlights the evolving dynamics between media platforms and public figures, illustrating that not all outlets are willing to serve as stages for image management, especially when it may compromise their perceived integrity or audience expectations. In the aftermath of George Clooney's controversial political advertisement, Bill Maher didn't hold back his criticism of Hollywood's increasing entanglement with politics. On his show, Maher emphasized that his platform was not a rehab clinic for Hollywood egos, underscoring his disapproval of celebrities leveraging entertainment platforms for political image management.
We're going to hear about both tonight on the panel and throughout the whole show, the winners, the losers. My message to the losers, look in the mirror.
He has consistently expressed his disdain for what he perceives as Hollywood's overreach into political discourse, arguing that such actions often come across as out of touch and condescending to the general public. Maher's critique highlights a growing sentiment that the entertainment industry's political activism can sometimes do more harm than good, alienating audiences who feel lectured rather than engaged. The backlash from the political ad and Maher's subsequent criticisms have led to a noticeable shift in George Clooney's standing within Hollywood. Once celebrated as a beloved icon, Clooney now faces scrutiny and diminishing support from both the industry and the public. Reports suggest that his active involvement in political campaigns, particularly his endorsement of Kamala Harris, may have accidentally contributed to political setbacks, leading to further criticism. This series of events raises pressing questions about Clooney's future in the entertainment world. Can he navigate this storm and restore his reputation, or has his deep dive into political advocacy completely destroyed his golden image? The coming months will be important in determining whether Clooney can reclaim his status, or if this marks the decline of his illustrious career. George Clooney's recent political achievements have undeniably impacted his public image. However, his commitment to his craft remains clear. He is set to make his Broadway debut in Good Night and Good Luck, portraying the legendary journalist Edward R. Murrow.
Honesty, facts, integrity, accuracy, truth.
The play is scheduled to open at the Winter Garden Theater in New York City, with previews beginning on March 12, 2025, and the official opening night on April 3, 2025. This venture into theater could signify a new chapter in Clooney's illustrious career. Yet the question remains, can this move help him regain his standing in the eyes of the public and the industry? Is this the beginning of a recovery for Clooney, or have recent controversies overshadowed his legacy? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you believe George Clooney can successfully navigate this turbulent period and reclaim his status as one of Hollywood's most respected figures? Share your opinions in the comments below.